Welcome to What's New in Petrosys. Petrosys has had a major makeover in version 17 with a new interface and plenty of new functionality. That was the short answer, but let's have a look in a bit more detail. We're going to have a brief look at the following highlights and a short demo. The new Petrosys is more colourful and visually attractive. The old grey main panel has been replaced with a simpler front end featuring a project thumbnail for easy project identification. There are also many more colourful icons throughout the software. Map making is faster, with menus and sub-menus replaced by one button click data access from customizable toolbars. Zooming and panning is now done with the centre mouse button, as with many other mapping applications. The new project selector includes project metadata and allows administrators to set up restricted work groups, for example for different asset teams. User permissions can also be controlled, limiting who can create and delete projects and where they can do this. In a big company environment, Petrosys projects are now more secure. Predefined projects and areas of interest for most of the world make it really easy to start working with your data. Company-specific project templates can also be created to help promote consistent-looking maps and a clear corporate identity. Layers can now be easily dragged and dropped in the display list, and users can sort by data source, coordinate system, layer type, in addition to display order. Groups can be created in the display list. In this example, we have grid, contour, fault, and well tops stored for 3 different horizons in one Petrosys map file. Filtering is now available for lists throughout Petrosys, making it quicker and easier to find what you want. PDFs of maps can be exported directly. In 17.3, this will include functionality to switch on and off individual map layers in the PDF and browse the real-world coordinates in the PDF map. The Petrosys plugin for Petrel makes it easy to write point line and polygon data into Petrel. In this example, we're writing 2D interpretation displayed from Kingdom in Petrosys directly into our Petrel project. Shapefiles with attributes, contours, XYZ point data, the choice is yours. You can also export cultural, that is point line and polygon data, from Petrel to geodatabases, Google Earth KML, and other popular spatial formats, with any coordinate conversion required done dynamically by Petrosys. We now support Paradigm EPOS 4 and 4.1 and can access well data for display, import and gridding, and also direct display of Paradigm grids and culture. Furthermore, Petrosys can now exchange seismic surfaces and fault sticks between Landmark and Paradigm. Stay tuned for further development of this great new exchange tool. This is a new Petrosys front end with the project thumbnail making it easy to identify which project we're looking at. In the Advanced button, we have administrator privileges for setting up users with different levels of permissions and different sorts of groups. We can also filter in any list. Just start typing what we want and we can easily find our target. This is a new mapping front end with a lot more toolbars and a fixed display list. And I'm just going to show you how quick it can be to make a map in Petrosys. Starting off by displaying some data from our Petrel project. Displaying this top ETIF grid with the associated faults. And we can also put on some wells from this Petrel project. Now we also have a Kingdom database available, and I'm going to display some 2D data from this. This project is in a different coordinate reference system, but as ever Petrosys does the coordinate conversion. we'll display some depth data for this vola horizon. We'll just drag this to the bottom so we can see the Petrel data more clearly. We also have well data loaded to this Kingdom project. We'll just display it in a different colour so we can see it a little bit more easily. And when we zoom in, we can see there are some additional wells in this project, but also it would appear that the same well has been loaded to the Petrel and Kingdom project with different top hole coordinates, and perhaps this is something we should investigate further. In our display list, we can create groups. I'll just call this folder Wells, and we'll drag our Kingdom and Petrel well layers into this folder. We also have some new functionality in the Display GIS option. In 17.3 we'll support XYZ data displayed directly from Excel and text files, but we can also display from Esri's file geodatabases, and we'll just put some licenses onto our map. We can also get easy access to our Petrosys project directory. Any type of file format that Petrosys recognises can be dragged and dropped onto the mapping canvas. So we'll just put some field outlines and shapefiles onto our map. And in this project we also have a contour file created from the depth data in Kingdom. We'll drag that onto. If we want to get some of this data into Petrel, we can pick things like the contours and use the spatial data translator. The data type here will be contours, and we're going to invert as Petrel works in subsea depth. If we go into our Petrel project, we can now see the contours displayed. And we'll just change the settings. You can see here that the Z values have been properly preserved. One more example from the spatial data translator. We're going to export the production licenses into Petrel too. I could just do it for the map area, but in this case I'm going to do it for the whole of Norway just to show you how performant this link is. We'll write these in as boundary polygons. And in a few seconds we've written 818 polygons into the Petrel project. As we zoom out here, you can see this really does include licenses for the whole of Norway. Furthermore, when working with things like shapefiles and geodatabases, we write all the attribute information into Petrel, so that is also available to people working in that environment. Back in Petrosys, I'm going to open up a finished map. We can export this easily to a PDF file. And as I mentioned, in 17.3 we can browse the real-world coordinates in the PDF itself. So there we have 9 great new things about Petrosys. And a 10th. Uptake has been very rapid amongst current users, and many new clients are adopting Petrosys as their mapping and integration tool of choice. Thank you for your attention. We'd be happy to answer any questions just now or via the links below.